Again, saw an article today about spiritual or religion in ancient societies. Conducted a research program, conducted a technological data research program, conducted by the University of Oxford in England, or some Oxford University. Now, they say, and get ready for this one, it's going to make you laugh, that they put all this data into a computer, and they said they didn't really understand it. It was really complex, but wait for it, they got the answer they needed. And the answer they needed was that advanced ancient societies were not religious. Now, this is gaslighting on the scale of the quackademics who claimed they knew they proved how the statues were moved in ancient Egypt in Easter Island by waddling a statue that was from the chest up, when they knew fully well that this Easter Island statues go all the way down to their feet and sit on a giant plinth. But they didn't show that because they wanted you to believe that they were clever. And they solved it. And that's scientific fraud. Out and out scientific fraud. Now, this survey is just monumentally stupid on loads of levels. If you look at the ancient societies, the idea was that first they had societies that were all like mudslingers and savages, and that's a ironic, savages and all kinds of muckers who are like who grunted at the stars and grunted at the sun and thought they were their gods. But as soon as society became technological and complex and advanced, they gave up on religion. Now this is so easily disproved. It's frightening that this has even got this far. If you look at the most advanced ancient societies, Greece, Rome, Babylon, ancient Egypt, the Hindu Kush, and ancient China, they were absolutely, and ancient Persia, they were absolutely saturated completely in religion. Completely. It determined every moment of every day of everyone's lives. These people are acting like Plato was an atheist, or Socrates was an atheist, or Marcus Aurelius was an atheist. Pythagoras was a magician who was involved in necromancy. He was more interested in magic than he was in anything to do with mathematics. That was just something that gave him more magical insight. That's how mathematics, is Pythagoras' theory, came along. And it just goes on and on and on. And it talks about like nonsense about they gave up on religion. Now, I know in ancient Egypt there's a case to be made that and I do believe it actually, that the pharaonic Egyptians are not the ones who built the main pyramids, the pyramids at Giza, but they were still, even in their own achievements, just like the Incas were at their time, they were still also inheriting a previous civilization technology. They were also highly advanced in their own way. Now, to suggest that religion had nothing to do with it is just, I cannot even believe that they've even gotten this far, that they've even suggested such a thing. I mean, every aspect, then someone pointed out in kind of like one of those kind of politically correct editorials that with the exception of the Islamic world, the agenda sneaks in, there was no religious society that was advanced in science. Hold on a second. The Islamic world got its science, its discoveries from Hindus, pagan Persians, and pagan Greeks. 99% of it. What they did discover themselves or invent themselves was piggybacked upon what they'd already learned from pagan Greeks, pagan Romans, pagan Persians, and Hindus. And so it's amazing to see the quackademic, as John Anthony West termed them. First, they don't have, the initial hypothesis is completely wrong to begin with. So what they do is they get a computer and they feed it with all kinds of data that they say themselves, we don't really know where it's from, it suits the model. And then the data spews out an answer that after they've tinkered and after they've played around, it gives them out the answer that they're expecting to get, that the greatest societies in the ancient world were all out and out atheists who didn't believe in gods and religion. And then there's the other aspect of this is these quackademics and educated people, well, formerly educated people in general, always make the assumption that religion equals Jesus Christ and the Bible. They have absolutely no concept or refuse to accept that paganism was the primary driver of societies such as great ancient Greece and Rome. To the point where the likes of Aristotle and Socrates and Plato are almost considered honorary Christians. You've heard me say this before. And that brings us to, if you look at some of the main attacks upon Catherine Nixie for her book, The Darkening Age, a lot of them came from atheist academics who could not grasp in their heads that a world exists without the Bible. And that shows you just how much. This is why all the colleges are called Jesus Christ College, Mary Magdalene College, and all this kind of thing. Saint this college, Saint that college. The academic mind is a product of Abrahamic Christian thinking. And it cannot get it in. And it's another thing too. That's also why they thought ancient societies were atheist. Because they cannot give pagans credit for anything. Nothing. Why? Because they all think it began with this little fella born in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. And they'll say that's not the reason at all. It's exactly the reason why.